So we're going to go over a transition from guard between an arm bar and a triangle. And we're basically going to use our hips to pivot his arm over into position and lock him up high so that he's forced to pick if he either wants to be arm locked or triangle. And it's really going to be dependent on his position. So there's a few key points that we really need to work on here, and he's going to have his elbows out naturally so that he can fight me as I'm coming through. If I want to try and start pulling, cross gripping it or pivoting around here, he's got his arms pretty well locked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet and hips, okay, and start getting his elbows a little bit closer to horizontal. That will allow me to bring my arm through and collect, okay? And he's still going to keep his elbow on the outside to avoid the triangle. Okay, but this now allows me to use my thigh to push his tricep forward and around. And I'm just gonna hold here, and you can grab like this if you want, but I usually do a folding grip because it's gonna slide more this way as I underhook his far leg.
And this is a good point because he doesn't know he's being trapped at this point, does he?
He thinks he's safe. He might be thinking that I'm gonna go, foot on hips or, work some sort of crazy, sweep from here or go spider guard or something, but I'm just really trying to use my hips to push this elbow around without him really thinking it's gonna happen. So as I move sideways, I'm gonna kind of kick him in the back of his armpit and then pivot through and catch the underhook. And as I do that, you can see that my knee and my thigh pushed his elbow and his tricep forward. And now I'm in more of a traditional hug grip for the arm bar, and I can bring my foot and my back of my knee up onto his shoulder and cross my feet again, almost like I'm in a real high guard, okay? So from here, the reason why we're doing this is that it's a good camping out spot. If I push this forward and he's just letting me, I'm gonna go right into the arm bar. But a lot of times, we come through here like this and he's starting to stack, and it gives me a spot to kind of hang out a little bit. And you'll see, once I move my arm, his elbow is stuck right there in my hip. And I didn't have to use my hand to pull him over. It was just holding. And I use my hip and my thigh and knee to manipulate him over here. Don't let your knee stay below his shoulder or in his armpit. Cut it around and then cross. And now that's pushing his head over, and it's a real quick step over, okay? Boom. Okay? He moves his hands back here, normal. He brings them in nice and tight, okay? Trying to defend. Okay, and I've got all my normal grip breaks, okay? Just like we normally do from our leg press position. So, one more time through for that. He's doing good, okay? Feet on hips, okay? Kick that way, underhook. Use your thigh to push that elbow and tricep across. Step on top of his shoulder and lock him in tight, okay? Step over nice and quick. Finish. Okay, if you're doing it correctly, your heels are in nice and tight, knees are together, you sit back and you get the tap about halfway through. If my feet are loose and I sit all the way back, he's out, or I have to hip up super tight, okay? So heels in tight.
Can you show that, and I'll close up here, Derek, of how you use your left knee to manipulate. I think that's a key element I know you want to point out. So let me, there we go, okay.
Okay, so you'll notice that from here, I'm not gonna do it where I'm real low, okay? Get at least that knee up in there, okay? And then as I come through.
See that? Yeah, there you go, see there, okay.
We'll
come back out.
Is stronger than his tricep is, okay? Sometimes I'll come through and I'll catch here, okay? And that allows me to push him and really squish him in nice and tight, okay? And then I can collapse back and catch it. But if you want to be super paranoid about keeping hold of this, just keep a hold of it all the way through. Don't tug, don't push with your arm, because then it's a tug of war. He knows what I'm doing, right? Even if I catch this and I push it over, now I have to come through here, and when I'm coming across, I gotta let go over there, and it's just too much transferring with your hands, okay? Make it easy on yourself. Use your leg, okay? Your leg is strong, your hips are strong, okay? Push, underhook. Slip that knee and thigh over, cross your feet. Now we step, okay? Shift, and catch.
And the
Now,
reason you want to park him there is because it's tactically, he thinks he's safe at this point.
Yeah.
He might base out, he has something he can do. And you're actually, like you said, you're taking a bit of a break and you're just incrementally getting more control from that bottom position.
if he gives me the arm bar, like I'm going straight for the arm bar. So even if we're through here in the same situation, and I get through here and he's not defending and stacking, I'm going right for that arm bar.
Right.
But most of the time, he's a little bit too smart for that. He starts stacking, okay? Or he gets his hands together. So I come through here and I get that right about here and he starts stacking me. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna cross over right through there, okay? Now I got you. Stomp the foot, lift his other leg, sit back, get a tap. Now he might pull his elbow out and that gives you the triangle. And that's another reason to park him up there. We'll get into this situation, okay? I get up here and I get my, guard nice and high on him. I parked him and he starts pulling that leg or that arm out, okay? So pull down nice and tight, cross. Okay. So again, boom, pushed it through, cross through, he pulls out. Okay, so he's making the decision for you. If you keep him down even tighter, so as I'm coming through here, boom, come in, and we're here like this. So I'm keeping super, super tight, and as soon as he pulls that through, okay, it's teeny tiny little shift. Okay, if you have to, you can bring him down with your far arm. Okay, especially with the gi, we're sitting here, okay, boom. Okay.
So really what you're talking about is the tactics of fighting from the bottom, especially if you're an arm lock guy, Jujitsu guy, or working a sankaku triangle from the bottom. These are tactical applications of movements to set him up.
Yep.
It's really tactics to get your big moving. Again, we want to stress everybody, nobody's just going to give you an arm lock or let you may catch somebody cleanly, and we drill on them a lot, but here is a tactical application of how to apply, how to set him up. Yeah, these are the tactics fighting from the bottom.
You have to be able to shift through those positions and incrementally lock down the pieces that you want so that you'll still get the same result. It just might take a little bit more control to get there. In the meantime, if he makes the smart choice, which is to pull that arm free, you got a follow-up move like right there.
Correct. We often say this, we joke about it here at Welcome Mat. Patience is a virtue, especially in ground fighting. Okay, but you also want to take your time but do it in a hurry. In other words, you want to be efficient in your body movements, and part of that is having a tactical approach to what you want to do and knowing how to be efficient in your body movements. Yep. And that's what you're doing here. Yep. That's what we're trying to present here, how to set this guy up. And this is for if a guy is really good at top fighting, and he's just not going to give you an arm.
Eric's not dumb. Most of the guys you're going to roll with are the same way. They've been doing it long enough. They know when you're setting up an arm bar.
Correct.
So you have to play off of that fact. And like you said, you have to be efficient in your movement, not dragging and letting go and switching hands a whole bunch unless I have to. In this case, I don't. Keep that one hand there. It's ready to go at all times, right? Until he pulls it out of my grip. I'm using my legs to do all the manipulation because they're a stronger body part. That's also part of efficiency, right? So you find them smarter.
Yep. Fight hard, fight smart. Okay. Thanks a lot.